humanity has achieved remarkable feats. We've harnessed the power of science and technology to overcome countless challenges and connect with one another across the globe. Now look where we are today.
Please welcome on stage Juergen Mueller, Chief Technology Officer, Member of Executive Board, SAP.
Welcome everyone to SAP TechEd 2023. Welcome to Bangalore, Bengaluru Svagata. Hegedira. And a very warm welcome to every single one of you joining us around the globe. That was a very nice opening video, right? And that voice we heard was completely generated by AI. Since last SAP TechEd, we have seen a huge leap forward with the advancements of generative AI. And I think we are now starting to understand how generative AI will be transforming our world. And I'm very sure that all of us have now experienced the magic of generative AI in one way or the other in our private lives. For example, I recently received the Uncle of the Year award. And that is also thanks to Gen AI, because while I think my storytelling skills were already quite good, my nieces have turned into even bigger fans now that I'm getting a little bit of help from ChatGPT. But here at SAP TechEd, of course, we look at how to apply this magic to business AI. Because the game is on for all of us. All developers now also have to become AI developers. And today, we will show you what you can expect from SAP and why the SAP Business Technology Platform is the best choice for you. We will cover all pillars of BTP. We will look at application development. We will look at automation, integration, data management, analytics, and AI. And by infusing generative AI into our solutions, and by giving all of you access to the technology and the learnings we have, you will see that SAP is your best friend to deploy relevant, reliable, and responsible generative AI in production. And together with our partners, the SAP ecosystem will be the #1 business AI ecosystem. And I'm excited to have a wonderful lineup here today of customers, partners, and colleagues joining me on stage to bring our story to life. I hope this will inspire you and that you will enjoy the show. Let me give you some sense of scale and momentum of our business technology platform. At SAP, a 5-digit number of people is waking up every morning to making BTP even better. Since last TechEd, we have delivered more than 1,000 roadmap items. Year-to-date availability is above 99.99%. And last year, I shared with you that we had 19,000 customers on BTP live in the cloud. Since then, we've actually added 3,000. So we are now at more than 22,000 live BTP customers in the cloud. And what's even more important for a platform is adoption. And that grew more than 60% year over year. And with so many new customers and developers coming on, of course, we want to make the onboarding experience as quick and as smooth as possible. So let me give you a sneak peek into how we are simplifying the BTP admin and development experience with generative AI. You will be able to ask our new co-pilot, Joule, which is integrated right into your BTP cockpit. For example, you can ask a question related to BTP services and get up-to-date recommendations. You might then ask for help with onboarding, and based on your prompt, a service entitlement is added to your BTP account. And as Joule is integrated across SAP solutions, you can switch to other solutions like SAP Start, for example, and continue to interact with BTP. I can, for example, onboard my colleague Michael Ameling to the BTP account right now from SAP Start. And that context of your conversation is never lost as you move from one SAP solution to the other. Using Joule, really for the first time ever, you will be able to interact with the BTP cockpit from anywhere you are without leaving the context of your SAP solutions. And now actually you see that Michael is successfully added to the BTP account with that correct role. You'll also be able to create new accounts, services, subscriptions, and a lot more. Isn't that amazing? And while we are working on making this available to you in the first half of next year, you can already use our Terraform provider today to automate the setup of your BTP environment. And as the Terraform provider is based on the BTP command line interface, it covers actually all its APIs, managing directories, sub-accounts, subscriptions, etc., etc. And now, before we dig deeper into the BTP pillars I showed, I want to invite two guests on stage. And let's start with the first one, KK from HCL Tech. KK.
Juergen.
KK, very, very good having you.
Nice to see you, man. Great.
So every customer and partner today actually will get more or less the same question, and that is, why is SAP BTP your choice, and what is next for HCL Tech, KK?
Thanks, Juergen, for having me. And good morning, good morning, and people who are watching across other parts of the good afternoon or good evening. Thanks for having me here. And the first thing on why we're doing with SAP BTP, I think traditionally people have tried to mess around too much with the core of many of these critical enterprise systems. And value innovation has never happened by trying to disrupt the core. And the value which we're seeing with BTP is that you can continue to innovate and extend. We've done some amazing work, and now both across core data engineering and now adding a lot of the generative AI capability which is available on top of the SAP this thing. It's been an amazing collaboration between the SAP team with our solutions team within HCL, and also a lot of our other aspects of our business. So as a SAP strategic global partner, as a GSI, but also with HCL Software, which is our ISV business, where we are building a lot of software products on top of the SAP BTP platform and extending a lot of our product lines. One of the interesting examples which we had was the automated sales return capability. A lot of times we try to use tools, but where we really see is that you have to bake generative AI as part of the process or the function, rather than trying to just give generative AI as just, I want to use it. It's about how do you really drive business outcome and benefits around that. And we've seen that in this use case when you have a lot of manual processes or steps. And most of the times people think humans operate on workflows. We love interactions. We love conversations. That's how we really engage. And with the power of generative AI, you can really change the way experiences across front office, middle office, back office, the whole integration layer. And that's the big difference. You can actually humanize technology by really bringing conversations and baking them into the way you do your stuff. This second interesting piece which we've been trying to build is that this whole concept of value extraction from existing processes and systems, rather than what we see today, a lot of mindless app modernization. People are modernizing apps without knowing what's the end destination. I think it's very, very important to see if you have invested in something, extract the value of what you have, and then build new application. So either you build or you extract value, modernize only if there is really a need to modernize. And I think that sense, I think the developer community will start to realize that keeping on tinkering old systems versus building new. Another interesting example, this is something very close to our hearts, is what we call Aquasphere. This is a solution which was built on BTP, but the inspiration for this solution really came in from our chairperson's big initiative called the Aquapreneur, which was launched with the World Economic Forum Uplink. This is about how do you really use intelligence to understand the usage of water. The irony is that 70% of the Earth is surrounded by water. We are 70% water, but we still have water shortage. So there is abundance on one end, but again, data, metrics, and ability to bring those pieces together is going to be extremely important. And with the Aquasphere, the solution, what we really have built is use intelligent hardware, which can be at the source, at the consumption layer, but all this data gets merged with S/4HANA, and then extend a lot of those intelligence capability using BTP. We've now also infused some level of Gen AI capability. So in this example, what we did was we ingested our own sustainability report and said, okay, get me context. I think the most important thing which we realize in Gen AI is to build context. And that context building allows you to really ask the right question, or even ask close enough a right question, be able to extract responses and make it more usable for the users. So by combining a lot of these pieces, we are able to really deliver an outcome to a customer. And as the LLM improves, correct, as you really start to take this whole piece out, you'll start to realize that more and more we apply large language models and then mix it up with metrics data. Your ability to really extract business value and outcome is going to be extremely important.
KK, thanks for sharing that.
Thank you, Juergen, for having me. That's good.
KK, thanks a lot.
Bye.
In talking about water scarcity, actually the next person and guest I will ask on stage here gave me permission to share that she actually faced challenges accessing clean water when growing up in Brazil. But let's hear from her directly. Please welcome Leticia from the social startup Sustainable Development and Water for All, SDW.
Hi, Juergen.
Leticia, thanks for coming all the way from Brazil and sharing your story with us. Same question to you. Why is BTP the choice for you, and what is next for SDW?
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. So, I'm from a small town in Brazil where access to water and sanitation is difficult. I grew up seeing people not having a sewage system and often not even having access to a bathroom. Tap water was also not a reality. In many cases, with water being stored in containers and tanks to guarantee a certain volume of water. And most of the time, this water was not purified, becoming a potential source of disease. Changing this situation has always been a dream that has become real with SDW. We work to provide service and device for communities that live without access to safe water and sanitation. Our main product uses solar energy to purify water. And until now, SDW brings clean water to 23,000 people, and we helped to save more than 6 million liters of water with our sanitation products. Being a startup, we must put a lot of effort to get funding and continue our social cause. The customers need to see a return on investment, so they want to know how their money is spent, how many communities and people were served, and how many products were installed to avoid waterborne disease. So we need to prove that what we do with our customers' money has the highest impact. We have developed an application using SAP Beauty Apps. It is used by employers to interact with local communities and to enter data about their sanitation services and social parameters. The application is being used to measure KPIs and the social impact of the services our field workers provide. By using the app, we can provide our clients with up-to-date data at their fingertips. In addition, we can ensure data safety and confidentiality thanks to this app built on SAP BTP.
Letizia, thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you again.
And it's amazing what you do with SDW. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, now let us continue actually with the first pillar of the Business Technology Platform. And I want to hand over the stage actually to our Michael Ameling to talk about application development. Michael, stage is yours.
Thanks a lot, Juergen. And good day, everyone. So we have just seen how easy it is to onboard onto BTP and set up your BTP landscape. The next logical step is to use it for developing extensions and applications. Why is BTP the choice for just that? Developing side-by-side extensions on BTP helps you to keep the core clean. This way your systems, like an SAP S/4HANA, are always easy to upgrade. Last year, we announced SAP Build, our low-code solution for development and automation. It has become one of the fastest growing BTP solutions and is also part of Rise and Grow with SAP. And we just heard from SDW that SAP BTP helps to make a difference in the world already by providing access to water. And now, we are expanding our set of professional development application development tools on SAP BTP. Today, I'm excited to announce our new Pro-Code offering, SAP Build Code. SAP Build and SAP Build Code provide you with a simplified developer experience, a unified lobby as starting point for SAP Build and SAP Build Code, tools for enhanced collaboration between citizen developers and professional developers, often referred as fusion development, and new generative AI capabilities to increase developer productivity. Of course, SAP Build follows a standard programming model for Java and JavaScript-based development. It uses a cloud application programming model, in short, CAP. But enough talking. Let's see it in action now. And for that, I'd like to welcome Sangeeta on stage. Sangeeta will create an app live on stage. And this app will allow you to register for the preview version of SAP Build Code. Sangeeta, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Michael. We are now in the unified lobby of SAP Build and SAP Build Code, what Michael just talked about. It is the central entry point for citizen and professional developers to create applications, automate processes, and build business sites. I use it today as well to create a registration app live for you to get early access to the SAP Build Code preview. If I click on the full stack application, you get the services and data annotation ready for you. To save us some time, I have already pre-created an empty project. We are now in the SAP Build Code environment, which is based on SAP Business Application Studio, our cloud-based IDE, to develop extensions and solutions on SAP BTP. The new and cool thing is that we now have Joule, our AI co-pilot, fully integrated for you to give a kickstart with your development. Today, I'm going to ask Joule to create an app for the registration for you today. Joule is now thinking.
This looks pretty simple, Sangeeta. And while AI is preparing for this app, let me highlight a few points. Joule is fully integrated into SAP Start, in the BTP cockpit, and in SAP Build Code. And over the next 2 days, you will see many examples how we integrated Joule across the entire application portfolio. Joule uses generative AI capabilities as well as machine learning and natural language processing. It quickly sorts through and puts data from multiple sources into context. For example, developer documentation, code samples, and the like. And finally, it surfaces the insights to help us as coders to do our work faster. And in the generated code has built-in CAP best practices. Sangeeta, is Joule already ready?
Yes, it is. You can see Joule has already generated the code for me. I have accepted it, and you can see the data models, services, and the UI annotations ready for you. Let me quickly switch to the graphical modeler, and now I want to add additional business logic. So I want to restrict the number of users who can register today for the SAP Build Code preview. I opened the code editor to add the business logic. I also defined the events when the business logic has to be executed. And here as well, I again ask Joule. So I ask Joule to limit the number of users. Until the limit is reached, Joule is allowing you to register. After that, it says, hey, the limit is done. Joule is again thinking, oh, Joule has already generated the logic for me. I can just click and copy paste it. So now let me also get a UI application on top for us to preview how the app would look like. I go through the wizard and create a template-based, browser-based application, and then click Finish. I can easily click on Run and quickly preview our application.
Yeah, and while we are at the final step for creating that app, let me explain actually what you did not see on the screen. In the back, SAP Build Code makes use of CAP for the creation of this app. And this has a number of benefits. The CDS models are created automatically. And the standard interfaces gets created as well. And by the way, an OData API was created during this process. So once deployed, the APIs can be consumed by other tools like SAP Build low-code solutions. Do we see the preview already?
Yeah, Michael, be a little patient. Joule has just generated the code, we used it, and the app is getting built. You can see that it's being built. Give it a bit of a time.
I'm patient. Yeah, cool.
See?
And you see that we have now the preview option here. Of course, now we could deploy the app, but let's open a pre-deployed app to save time. And as you can see in the app, Sangeeta is already registered herself for the preview version of SAP Build Code. The app is live and it's running. Now, I invite everyone to register for the preview version of SAP Build Code with the app we have just created. Yes, this is real. Just scan the QR code and we will reach out to you. Thank you, Sangeeta, so much. Give her applause.
Thank you.
With SAP Build Code, it took us just 5 minutes to create a full-blown application with quad operations and high-quality code based on CAP. That's pretty amazing. But let me stress again, with SAP Build Code, you can maximize the value of your data and offer secure access. Topics like identity management, audit logging, and much more are automatically taken care of. SAP Build Code is already available as a preview offering, and you can subscribe via the QR code as you have seen just here. Now, SAP Build SAP Build Code and SAP BTP ABAP environment can be now used together for low-code and pro-code development. Talking about ABAP, let's now look at some new features for ABAP pro-code developers. Last year, we announced ABAP Cloud for pro-code development on BTP and S/4HANA. Today, we are adding AI to it. Let me show you a preview for delivering AI-assisted ABAP cloud programming. In this example, I want to create an app that helps me to keep track of developer conferences. We see how AI-assisted code generation is also built to ABAP development tools. In the generator, you simply enter a user prompt explaining the app. And we see the artifacts are being generated, and of course, this is all written to ABAP transports. And here, we see already some sample data. And of course, we find our session, SAP TechEd Bangalore. Now, another great thing about ABAP Cloud, you can use it for writing code in BTP and inside your S/4HANA system, following the clean core principles. Now, this was just a short tool demo, but just imagine how powerful this will be for your own business use cases. For example, how AI helps you to explain and review ABAP code, generate test cases, test data, and much more. Now, I have one more thing for you. Having seen this, how many of you want to know about the best way to develop extensions applications on BTP? Yeah, I see a lot of people are curious. Great, I have one more thing for you. From now on, there's one central source for best practices for your pro-code development journey, the SAP BTP Developers Guide. This guide explains you how to build extensions and apps with SAP Build Code and SAP BTP ABAP environment. The SAP BTP Developers Guide is available for everyone since today on help.sap.com. So check it out, scan the QR code, and with that, I'm handing back to Juergen. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Michael. So as you can see, we have a lot of highlights for you in that area of application development. Let me just quickly summarize. SAP Build Code provides you with a simplified developer experience through a unified lobby. And this makes collaboration between citizen developers and professional developers very easy. And we are infusing generative AI capabilities to increase developer productivity. We also help you to follow the latest best practices with our SAP BTP Developers Guide and SAP Build, and the latest addition to the Build family, SAP Build Code, and the SAP BTP ABAP environment can now be used together to create apps and extensions. And doing that is, of course, extremely important in the context of a clean core strategy with S/4HANA. You develop extensions either on BTP or in S/4HANA with ABAP Cloud. And while a clean core is not a prerequisite for S/4HANA, it makes any S/4HANA upgrade, of course, so much easier. And let's hear from a customer who has lots of experience in applying the clean core strategy. Please welcome Hitachi High-Tech's Sakai-san. Sakai-san, great having you.
Hi. I'm very excited with you in Bangalore.
Thank you very much. Same question to you.
Yes.
Why is BTP your choice, and what is next for Hitachi High-Tech?
Yes, okay. Let me explain about my journey. Our company has implemented SAP ERP globally, long time. But over the last 20 years, systems become complex, and as many as 9,000 add-ons for individual optimization for each region. This complex system required significant maintenance cost and prevented the company from quickly introducing new technologies and contributing the company's growth. So it was very critical that we reduce the complexity. Thanks to BTP, SAP BTP side-by-side extension, we can now easily upgrade our SAP S/4HANA systems by year or by term. So we can keep S/4HANA core clean, and we can get the benefit from all latest SAP innovations. We create over 800 new add-ons for UI and report and interface. As a fact, we used to have 9,000 add-ons, and we reduced to 800 add-ons. In addition, we are using SAP BTP to automate internal global end-to-end process. And we are planning to expand our previous experience with robotics process automation and aim at automating data entry using SAP Built Process Automation solution. Workflow management and RPA capability enabled cross-system workflows. In addition, SAP Build have been initiated efficient development. And also, we are planning to enhance process integration between SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public and Private using SAP Event Mesh. Of course, in the future, we are also planning to Gen AI to data-driven management. We are using SAP BTP. I think using SAP BTP, we can build global digital process, smart global digital process, without touching SAP S/4HANA core. So that is very, very incredible thing. We believe SAP BTP could be very, very important tool to accelerate our business process. Thank you.
Sakai-san,
yes.
Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
your
you.
story.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. You just heard from Sakai-san about the clean core strategy, but also how important automation and integration are. So let's talk about automation and integration. And let's face it, everything that can and should be automated will also be automated, especially now in the generative AI age. And we help with SAP Signavio, so you can constantly check your processes and identify opportunities for automation. With our latest release of Signavio, actually, you can use BTP to connect to SAP or third-party systems for process mining. And process mining events from Signavio can now be published to SAP Integration Suite Event Mesh. Sakai-san just talked about it. This allows you to immediately react to process anomalies as they happen. And the best way to react to process anomalies and to automate processes is with SAP Build. And the combination of SAP Signavio, of SAP Build integration, of SAP Build, and of the SAP Integration Suite allow for holistic enterprise automation. And enterprise automation helps you to identify, to model, and automate business and IT processes with our AI-powered tools. And with our recently announced intent to acquire LeanIX, they are a leader in enterprise architecture management software, we are expanding our business transformation portfolio even further. And now let's hear from one of our long-term customers about their automation and integration journey. And for that, I would like to welcome Rucha on stage from the Mahindra Group. Rucha, it's great having you.
It is great being here. Our journey has been 25 years with SAP, so thrilled to be here. Thank you.
It's very, very true. Rucha, same question to you. Why is BTP the choice? And what's next for the Mahindra Group?
Allow me for a second to talk about Mahindra Group a little bit. We are a purpose-driven company. We are a global company. Our purpose is to drive positive change in the communities we are in the lives of people who live in the communities. We believe that we will only rise if we enable others to rise, and that's our philosophy. I think rise resonates with rise. The three pillars of our philosophy I want to talk for a second about. One is rise for a more equal world. Second, rise to be future ready. Third is rise to create value. Now, it is great to be speaking about technological innovation. As you can see, it fits squarely in our central pillar. Rise to be future ready. Talking about BTP, Juergen, we started identifying tasks that don't require a lot of human intelligence, and that enabled our human forces to work on more strategic initiatives. We have used BTP build process automation to automate more than 250 business processes in 3 months. That's the agility that has come through it. Major work has been done. Actually, the great part of this is most of this has been done by our citizen developers. We have trained 100+ citizen developers, and they have helped us do this. Integration Suite has helped us connect our entire ecosystem. SAP, non-SAP, COTS, third party, and our homegrown applications as well. It has helped reimagine the integrations, move away from file-based transfers, even APIs, and go to real-time connectivity, data exchange through event mesh. Integration Suite API management has helped reusability. We embarked on a major modernization and transformation journey about a year ago, and SAP has been a big part of our journey. And reusability was a major measurement for us to be able to standardize and so on. API management has helped a great deal. We have about 100 APIs onboarded with all the policies around caching, rate limiting, authorization, etc. Let's talk about the outcome. This is all great. The work goes on. What's the outcome? 900+ work days saved. 400+ development days saved in a year's time. I think we already talked about citizen developers, and I think that community is growing by the day. Some more numbers. 15% improvement in high compute transaction. Some of you will resonate with this, right? Our month and our year, and we want to do it as fast as possible. We also saw 35% gain in our developer efficiency. We have seen 20% faster execution of our jobs. And this is my favorite number. We have saved over 13,000 trees in a year. I think we all care about leaving the planet in a better place. This is a great achievement. We also have been partnering with SAP BTP for a lot of AI use cases. I think we're all in the generative AI buzz, but AI at large is a big part of our work. I'll talk about a couple of examples. One is around AI-based invoice scanning. We had been doing this with OCR, but we all know the challenges that come with it. We are moving it away from traditional ACR to AI-based document to help with prediction and feature extraction of these invoices, and it's going great. Another one which is under consideration and very, very important for us is use AI to understand customer repair requirements. Translate and propose possible repair solutions as part of our warranty job card analytics. We're very excited about this one. Couple of more examples. Identify legal risks in your documents, in your contracts. Use intelligent document classification, your ID card comparison with what's in your SuccessFactors. We are also SuccessFactors users, and compare the employee records and maybe nudge if it is not the same to say, let's have the latest data and so on and so forth. I could go on and on about our AI and generative AI use cases, but I think that should sum up why we use BTP.
This is amazing. Rucha, big thanks.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Rucha, thank you so much.
So much.
Great having you. Yeah, we've just heard from Rucha about generative AI, and in the context of enterprise automation we talked about, I want to show you what will be possible related to process generation. And for that, let's once more think about SDW, the social startup we had earlier here on stage, and let's assume they continue to scale, and at a certain point in time, they want to optimize their validation and approval process for projects. So SDW could actually quickly ask our copilot Joule in natural language to generate a process. And you can get recommendations of pre-built content from the SAP Business Accelerator Hub, or you have the option to create a completely new process. And that newly created process can be previewed and accepted. And from that starting point, actually, you could enhance the process in SAP Build Process Automation. You can modify the process, for example, the business rules, and define business process approvers using Joule again. And now that process is updated, and it's always now the right approver is selected, depending on the category of that project and the location where such a project will be executed. And with that, SDW would receive their investments a lot more quickly and more efficiently. So you saw how the use of generative AI will also accelerate process automation. And I know there are a lot of processes out there that need optimization. We plan to make that available in the first half of 2024. I have one more important announcement in the area of integration. Quick show of hands here in the audience. Which of your companies are using either SAP Integration Suite, or SAP Process Orchestration, or SAP Process Integration? Quick show of hands. I thought that many, many hands go up. You will be very happy today, because today we are elevating our SAP Integration Suite with the general availability of Edge Integration Cell. Some of you already know what it is, and you like it already. Let me explain for all the others. Edge Integration Cell is our hybrid runtime. So you can now design your processes in integration scenarios once in the cloud, and then you can decide to run them anywhere you want, and now even in private landscapes, such as remote factories or warehouses. And this closes the last remaining critical gap for our process integration, process orchestration on-premise customers to quickly move to our SAP Integration Suite. And with Integration Suite, you heard it today as well from Rucha, for example, you can leverage more than 250 out-of-the-box connectors. You can use event-driven and API-led integrations as well. So let's summarize the highlights we had here in the area of automation and integration. With SAP Signavio, SAP Integration Suite, SAP Build, they deliver a comprehensive enterprise automation suite. And we will embed generative AI into all of them. And you don't need generic workflow solutions like ServiceNow to automate processes in SAP. You also don't need generic integration tools like Salesforce's MuleSoft or Delboomi for the integration of SAP with other systems. So we just heard how important it is to simplify and automate business processes. And what's related to every business process? Data. So let's take a closer look at the topic of data management now. However, before I dive into our exciting updates, let's hear from one of our esteemed technology partners, the Women's Tennis Association, actually. Let's roll the video.
Hello, SAP TechEd 2023, sending warm wishes to you all from Florida to Bangalore. The Women's Tennis Association was founded 50 years ago to run the business of women's tennis and serve players worldwide. Since 1973, the WTA has amassed rich stores of data, which were segmented across numerous databases. To make the most of all of this data, we needed to re-architect our IT landscape and develop a data transformation strategy. For that, we turned to SAP and SAP's Business Technology Platform. Integrating SAP BTP is allowing us to translate decades of data into holistic insights, integrated statistics, and predictive analytics on one unified platform. this transformation project was also the catalyst for the WTA to explore the world of AI. Working with SAP, we developed a prototype that utilized the AI capabilities of the WTA's new BTP landscape to analyze historical player statistics and find correlations that help predict future success. The learnings we took from this project will now determine how we move forward. Player health and injury prevention, enhanced tournament logistics, and leveraging dynamic data are just some of the topics we look forward to exploring as part of our data management strategy with SAP. We are so proud to not only advance the sport of women's tennis through technology, but also to pioneer this new AI era alongside our longtime partner, SAP. This is only the beginning, and we are beyond excited for what the future entails.
Isn't that inspiring? I didn't know that you can do that with tennis data. I like the hidden champion prediction model the most. We, of course, understand how important it is to collect and to utilize data efficiently. And that is why we introduced SAP DataSphere in March this year, a data service built on SAP HANA Cloud. SAP DataSphere creates a business data fabric to simplify data management of all your critical data. For many companies, probably also for your company, maximizing the value of your data is very complex and time-consuming. Why is that? Because too many companies got convinced that it somehow would make sense to export all SAP data and then rebuild the context about your business processes again and again and again. And let me be very clear, this is a misconception. It only creates data inconsistencies, huge extra effort, a lot of frustration and cost. But it doesn't have to be. Because SAP DataSphere unifies all your data into a single semantic model. So in the end, you have all your SAP data exposed and governed via SAP DataSphere, and that you connect to all your other data sources that you have. And to accomplish this vision, we know that SAP data needs to be open and work with your existing data infrastructure. And this is why we announced strategic bi-directional integration with open data partners such as Collibra, Confluent, Databricks, Google, and DataRobot. SAP DataSphere innovations include a low-code interface for data modeling, a catalog with data semantics and lineage capabilities, and federation and replication capabilities for data integration. Since its launch, we have also expanded our data center coverage on AWS, on Azure, and on GCP. And today, we announce SAP DataSphere Semantic Onboarding. With SAP DataSphere Semantic Onboarding, you can onboard SAP application data and data products with full context and meaning to your business data fabric. There's no need to recreate the semantics, the logic, the context that already exists, for example, in S/4HANA or in SAP SuccessFactors. And this also allows business users to create data models without understanding the technical underlying data structures of our applications. And this fresh new approach enables self-service and secure distribution of data within your organization and also outside of your organization with the SAP DataSphere Marketplace. SAP DataSphere Semantic Layer allows you to easily start new analytics as well as planning projects and to quickly create intelligent data applications. And that is the keyword for SAP HANA Cloud. SAP HANA Cloud is one of the most adopted services internally at SAP. More than 165 different applications and services use SAP HANA Cloud with its multi-model capabilities. And now, HANA Cloud takes center stage in the generative AI age. I couldn't be more excited to announce SAP HANA Cloud's Vector Engine. This is huge, and here is why. We are working with all kinds of large language models like GPT-4, Llama 2, Falcon 40B, Claude 2, and many others for a while. And they are amazing. But they also have very severe limitations, like outdated training data and business process context. So let's make it very tangible. Imagine a large language model, an LLM, would be a colleague of yours. And that colleague would be very intelligent. The colleague could program, actually passed medical exams, passed law exams, can argue, and has good manners. So pretty good colleague, huh? But such a colleague would not know anything about what happened in the world in the last year. And the colleague would have no clue about your internal processes in your company, nor any of your company systems, like financial systems, HR systems, and the like. And I think this is the worst. After every conversation you have with that colleague, the colleague would forget what you talked about. So working with such a colleague would be a little weird, right? And of, let's say, limited value. But try it out. Try asking a large language model a seemingly easy question. What do you think of the offer from our most important supplier last week? Of course, an LLM cannot answer such questions, as they work on their initial training data. All other data has to be provided as context. And this is where SAP HANA Cloud's vector engine steps in. It helps to combine the powerful capabilities of large language models with all the relevant data of your organization. This process is called retrieval augmented generation, and SAP is leading the way by bringing vector capabilities into our industry-leading SAP HANA Cloud database. So with the new SAP HANA Cloud Vector Engine, you can really tap into all your mission-critical data while keeping all of the amazing multi-model database capabilities of HANA Cloud. But let's see it in action now, and for that, I'm happy to have Sabrina on stage.
Thank you, Juergen. So as you just heard, SAP HANA Cloud's new vector engine will give you the ability to incorporate the data's underlying meaning into your intelligent data applications. Large language models have been trained on the vast amount of data available on the internet, like text or images, and now have an implicit understanding of semantics and relationships. So in this simplified graphic here, we consider words collapsed in a simple two-dimensional plane. You can see that the words database and table are close together in our vector space, signifying that they are semantically similar. While we have a much larger distance to the word icebreaker, signifying that it is not similar. So here's how this works. We live in a world that is three-dimensional, but embedding vectors exist in a high-dimensional space with hundreds or thousands of dimensions. Vectors are a mathematical data representation of any object in a multi-dimensional vector space. They utilize values along a large number of dimensions to describe the attributes or features of the object. These vector embeddings are generated by an embedding function that is specifically trained for certain object types. In essence, the so-called embedding functions convert complex and often unstructured data into a vector representation and preserve semantic similarity. This enables you to process, compare, and use it in various machine learning and data analysis tasks using large language models. So the great news for developers is that SQL knowledge is all you need. Let's see the vector engine in action here in the HANA Database Explorer. This table in the HANA Database Explorer is leveraging the new data type, real vector. We have been populating the table with the text of the SAP HANA Cloud Graph Engine documentation. And to be honest, nobody really likes to read extensive product documentations. So what if you could just ask the large language model to summarize the documentation and extract specific information that is relevant to your question? So we have used a text embedding function to generate these embedding vectors. The embedding function maps semantically similar text to vectors close to each other in a high-dimensional space. Running a semantic search then simply becomes a nearest neighbor search in that vector space with 1,536 dimensions. So where it differentiates is you're not searching content. You're searching for condensed semantic meaning. Now we are running a nearest neighbor search in the HANA using SQL. We're using the built-in distance metric, cosine similarity. That compares the vector in the table to the real query vector. The query vector was obtained by the embedding function that is based on the string, how do I run the shortest path algorithm? So now the result brings back text from our product documentation that is semantically similar to our query about shortest paths. Since this nearest neighbor search is a SQL operation, we can add additional SQL operations. For example, we can set a filter. Now we're able to see the outcome on the bottom left. And of course, you can also do joins. For example, to the author's master data table, where the location of our authors is being stored. So let's assume you would like to invite your experts that are located nearby to an in-person customer meeting. We can then use a spatial predicate of the HANA spatial engine within distance to identify authors that are located in a 200-kilometer radius around Pune. Now taking a look at our location, we can see on the map where these two dots are displayed, our author's location is being stored. So you must stay tuned now to hear more about this powerful vector engine in combination with large language models later in this keynote. Thank you, Juergen.
Thanks, Sabrina. Thank you very much, Sabrina. I don't know if I'm going to have a headache tonight, like thinking about a space that is more than 1,500 dimensions. But actually, it's good that we have HANA Cloud for that. So we are using the HANA Cloud Vector Engine internally already today. And as Sabrina said, we couldn't be more excited to bring that to you in Q1 of 2024. So let's summarize the data management section. Here's what you need to take away. First of all, SAP HANA Cloud's new vector engine allows you to achieve the ultimate goal in the context of generative AI, combining powerful large language models with your data. Then SAP DataSphere delivers an integrated, semantically rich data layer across all your data landscapes. No export of SAP data is needed anymore. And having all data accessible with SAP DataSphere, this, of course, builds the foundation for talking about analytics. So let's take a closer look at analytics. And who could do that better than our global head of engineering for analytics? She is based here in Bangalore. Let's welcome Dharani. Dharani, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Juergen, for having me on stage. It's my pleasure to talk about Analytics Cloud. SAP Analytics Cloud allows you to analyze your business data and understand what has happened. It also allows you to simulate and predict future outcomes. And it also allows you to create or adjust your entire organizational and departmental plan for better future. And the best part of it is that the entire analytics is being done on top of the live data coming in from SAP systems. With that, I would also like to say what's new. First and foremost, we did it again. SAP Analytics Cloud's performance is better than before. We are introducing Lightweight Viewer, which provides up to 63% of faster rendering on top of the classical stack. Lightweight Viewer is already in preview, and it would be available as GA in Q1 of 2024. And It also does not require any single migration steps, and it provides a very seamless user experience to your existing stories. By the way, if you're still using classical stack dashboards, get your dashboards moved to the new stack to leverage all the performance improvements I talked about, and also to leverage n number of optimizations and innovations we've already built onto the new stack. One of our customers, a large multinational in the manufacturing industry, who also had a huge SAP footprint of SAP S/4HANA, SAP BW for HANA, SAP HANA, did a competitive study with SAP Analytics Cloud and another leading BI vendor. The study that was done with our SAP partner Interdobs found that even after simplifying the landscape and the scenario for the competitor, SAP Analytics Cloud outperformed in all the scenarios. It provided up to 60% improvements in filtering, 74% improvements in the initial load, and multi-times on the navigations. From what you see, for doing analytics on live SAP data, there is no other better choice than SAP Analytics Cloud. Now you saw how to get insights faster, but what is really the quickest way to get your business questions answered? Is it clicking through screens? No, it's natural language, of course. We are super excited to introduce Just Ask into SAP Analytics Cloud, which complements SAP's AI Copilot, Joule. As you see here, with Just Ask, you can just simply type in your business questions and get your answers immediately. Just Ask has been already tested by beta by selected customers, and it would be available for almost all of the enterprise customers by Q1 of 2024. Going forward, Just Ask would also be utilizing HANA's vector engine to broaden its knowledge base by combining the vector data and SAP's relational data. And that's not it. We are continuing to invest on our new model that we delivered last year. We are unifying the data-first approach and the structured-first approach to have a single unified enriched model. And starting from Q1, all of our planning and analytics users would be able to seamlessly use this new model in an enriched way. Having said that, let's also understand how we are planning to leapfrog competition in the space of analytics and more. For that, I would like to invite Juergen back on stage.
Dharani, thank you so much. Amazing. Thanks a lot. Thank you. And Dharani talked about leapfrogging the competition. Actually, we have an expert guest here, the next one, who really knows how to leapfrog the competition. With that, let me welcome Michael from Henkel on stage. Michael, welcome.
Good to see you.
Very good seeing you. Same question to you, Michael. Why is BTP your choice, and what's next for Henkel?
Yeah, thanks very much, Juergen. Also great to be here. Good morning to everyone. Happy to be here in Bangalore, the Silicon Valley of India. But coming back to your question, Juergen, SAP, BTP, why is it our choice? 3 years ago, we were looking for a large-scale enterprise software technology platform which would help us to build SAP applications side by side, you guys call it, or non-SAP applications, which would be out of the box integrated into the SAP landscape. And this is what we found with SAP BTP, and even more, SAP BTP for the last 3 years has been our innovation platform. I have to say I'm very impressed what you guys have brought to the table in terms of Gen AI. Super excited to hear all the announcement today. And so we are going with SAP BTP, and it's really accelerating our innovation pace. So with that, let me very briefly introduce Henkel to you. What are we doing and what's our digital journey? So Henkel is a global company. We have 2 major businesses. One is an industrial business, B2B business model, adhesive technologies, and we have a second business, which is a consumer products goods business, so a classical B2C business. And we as a company, we have embarked about 4 years ago on a massive digital transformation journey, and where we are leveraging software in particular in order to move the business. So what we have been doing on the one side, we have been building a huge internal software capability on the one hand. We have, by the way, here in Bangalore, one of our biggest innovation hubs across the world. And on the second side, we have been building strategic partnerships, and one of the most important ones is the one with SAP. We have been a long-term SAP customer, but we said for the next software era to come, we need to much closer partner with SAP, and accordingly we went into a partnership which we call Digital Leapfrog, and that's really has been paying off for us quite a bit. So let me today talk about one specific case, which is trade promotion management. So trade promotion management for our industry is highly significant. We are running a multi-billion scope on trade promotion management, and it's really mission critical for our business. So 3 years ago, we were looking into how to build it because we couldn't find anything in the market, and we had failed with several approaches before. So we said, let's build it ourselves together with SAP on the just newly released SAP Business Technology Platform. It's a very, very complicated application. Just to give you an idea, not to go too deep, you have to manage 2 billion planning nodes, and which technology would be better suited to it, also being fully integrated in the SAP core, then BTP with HANA. So that was working quite well. We were able to deploy that across the entire organization at scale, and now we are looking to the next innovation in this very, very important area for us. So before we go into that, what we call trade promotion optimization, let me briefly talk about how we think about GenAI. So GenAI for us is really super important. We are believing that GenAI is a great opportunity for us. I like to take here one quote, which we always use. This is, GenAI starts to disrupt economy and society, similar to the internet, same magnitude like the internet, but it's coming at light speed. Just look at the last 10 months since we had the inflection point last year in November. What has happened? Just before, SAP has announced that they have now a vector storage which is able to manage large language model, and it's really, the innovation pace is really mind-blowing. I have never been really discovering anything in my career so far, an exponential technology which is kind of helping your business to improve exponentially. I strongly believe that with GenAI, finally we have such a technology in place. So coming now, shifting over a little bit to the trade promotion use case again. So with, and you see a video in the background, so trade promotion optimization is now all about the killer use case I mentioned to you before, further optimizing that multi-million spend. And so we were looking how to do that. So we were building in an MVP traditional machine learning algorithms into the solution on the one hand, and on the other hand, we were trying out the just ask GenAI kind of human interface prompt, so in order to make it available to our users. So machine learning for optimizing, which would include the whole simulation planning part of it, and then natural language processing in order to make it also available to the end user who is not so much familiar with very sophisticated black box AI. And that is really paying out. I am super happy that SAP and we were able to go into this innovation journey. It was a 12 weeks MVP, a lot of out of the box. And just to give you a perspective, so we are not just using the newly released out of the box functionality, but on the other hand, BTP is also super great for building our own GenAI tech stack. So with BTP, we have a technology in place by which we can build our own large language model, LLM and LMM IP, which is super important for any company to build in your domain-specific vertical knowledge. And that was possible in that project. First of all, I think because of the partnership. Secondly, because we have a great technology in place, which is innovating at a rapid pace, so keeping up in high pace. Then there was a great innovation mindset. Very often we think big, large tech companies like SAP cannot be innovative. I have to tell you, we saw exactly the different thing. Yeah, and then last but not least, because we have this trusted partnership, we know not everything is working from day one, so you can really jointly innovate at large scale. So with that, I would like to also invite you to our booth. We have a couple of colleagues here from SAP, but also from Henkel, also here from our technology center in Bangalore. They have a booth where you can have a more detailed look into that. And there is further great stuff available, which we have built in MVPs with SAP together. With that, thank you very much for your attention. And I would like to hand it over to Juergen again. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Michael. Thank you. So you've just learned about another important capability in analytics when you think about the last video you saw. That is being able to do advanced simulations and then adjust planning as well. That is still in a private preview. We are testing it with like 25 customers and partners in the moment, so stay tuned. You will hear more very, very soon. Summarizing the analytics space, we showed you two new important features in SAP Analytics Cloud. The lightweight viewer renders results faster than ever. There's no better solution than SAP Analytics Cloud for SAP data at least. Just Ask is augmenting SAP Analytics Cloud with natural language support. And in total, since last TechEd, we delivered more than 150 features. Also, we have more than 240 content packages available for SAP Analytics Cloud and Planning, such that you can start your project right away with the best practices. And of course, we are integrating generative AI into the major workflows of SAP Analytics Cloud. You saw and heard a lot already about AI. And to round it up, let's look at the remaining pillar of BTP, which is AI. We want to show you how you, as a developer, can change the world with SAP Business AI. And for that, I'm happy to give the stage to Walter Sun, our head of AI.
Hello, morning.
Walter,
thank you very much, Juergen, for the warm welcome. We appreciate it. Good morning, TechEd Bangalore. Great to be here. Yes, thank you, thank you. I'm excited to share the new capabilities we're making available to developers. As technology enthusiasts, we're all aware that the hot summer of generative AI is extending to the autumn and beyond. Artificial intelligence, and particularly generative AI, continues to reinvent how we run our businesses in many innovative ways. That's why we believe this new technology will alter the way engineers and developers work in 3 ways. 1, how we build into our software and applications. 2, how we take what we build into the DevOps cycle, tools, and platform. And 3, who does the building? Namely, as natural language conversations extend programming beyond low coders to even no coders, development will become even more democratized to anyone with great ideas and creativity. At SAP, we are at the forefront of business AI. SAP Business AI is about achieving real business results for the enterprise and making AI relevant, reliable, and responsible. In tomorrow's Day 2 keynote, we'll show you how we embed AI capabilities into our solutions and how Joule, the generative AI copilot embedded across our applications, truly understands your business. We are relentlessly working to bring these use cases to our customers. To facilitate this, we have been educating SAP employees on best practices and providing AI tools internally to accelerate Gen AI embedded product development. For today, I want to talk about how we make these learnings available to you. BTP AI Foundation is your way to build relevant, reliable, and responsible AI-infused applications and extensions yourselves. It includes everything you need to run your business-ready AI in these applications that you build on SAP's BTP. From ready-to-use AI services to AI runtimes and lifecycle management, we provide the tooling for the management of generative AI capabilities and ensure business data connectivity. This is the same foundation we use ourselves to embed AI into our products, and we designed it with security, governance, and trust in mind, from the ground up and with enterprise grade as you would expect and demand from all SAP offerings. So I'm sure you're now asking yourself, how do I access these large language models? As part of the AI Foundation, I am pleased to announce the release of our Generative AI Hub. Yes. Planned for general availability by December, the Hub provides developers instant access to Azure OpenAI and Falcon 40B language models. And early next year, we're going to add more models, including Meta's Llama 2 and LF Alpha. With this access, developers can experiment by submitting a prompt to multiple large language models to compare the generated outcomes and identify the best suited model for the task. Furthermore, they can then power mission-critical processes with complete control and transparency with features like built-in prompt history, all delivered with enterprise-grade security and data privacy. Generative AI Hub also provides tooling for developers to supercharge your Gen AI development processes. You'll be able to leverage grounding capabilities based on enterprise data to ensure the proper context, such as leveraging HANA Cloud Vector Store, as shown by Sabrina earlier today. This, for instance, enables retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, a technique to extract the most relevant information for context-aware prompting of large language models. Let's look at how this works. Imagine you are a developer named Sunil who is eager to explore the new Generative AI Hub with RAG grounding capabilities. Normally, this would be time-consuming, but with our user-friendly UI, Sunil can save a lot of time. And to continue from his last session, Sunil starts in the prompt management section where he was experimenting with grounding. He starts this session by filtering on his saved prompts, selecting the grounding option in the collection to find something he did earlier. This takes him straight to what he was looking for. And with a simple click of Open an Editor button, he changes the prompt for what he wants today, which is, how do you calculate the shortest path in a HANA graph engine? Falcon 40B is already selected for this model for this run. So the next thing you need to do is choose a grounding option, which in this case is the HANA Cloud Graph documentation. Now he executes the workflow. What's happening in the background? The query goes into the HANA Vector Store, whose output in turn is the input grounding into Falcon. Looking at the results, Sunil finds a good response, but he was actually hoping for a working code snippet. This is where the strength of the Generative AI Hub shines. Sunil can select from multiple providers and versions of large language models. Here, he decides to use GPT-4, since he's seen as gives more detailed responses. He selects it and runs the workflow again. And when he finishes, he notices that GPT-4 delivers a comprehensive answer along with 2 robust examples in graph script, exactly what Sunil was looking for. So as you have seen, the Generative AI Hub is simplifying and transforming the way developers access AI. It's user-friendly, it's efficient, and it's designed to help developers like Sunil to achieve more with less hassle. But this is just the beginning. Next year, we will expand our prompt management capabilities within Generative AI Hub with prompt templates, registries, and libraries. In the large language model part of the prior demo, we can even provide recommendations for the best model to choose to assist users less experienced than Sunil. And shortly, we're going to offer fine-tuning support for scenarios which require even deeper domain-specific context. We will also add sophisticated agents and plugins for better Gen AI orchestration towards even more accurate responses and task executions. Longer term, we're building out SAP proprietary tabular transformer-based models. These models are analogous to large language models, but are rather built on business data and generate more numeric business content the same way LLMs generate natural language responses. Given our deep expertise of helping our customers optimize their business processes for more than 50 years, we are actively exploring a generic large model which can address a variety of business scenarios in the future. You can maybe consider this an early preview for a future keynote. So before I go, I have one more exciting announcement for you, which is our membership with the Stanford Institute for Human-Centered Artificial Intelligence to advance our work, especially on our own foundation model. So there you have it, a hot summer of AI, and SAP is fully on board. I appreciate the chance to share these exciting developments with you. Back to you, Juergen. Thank you very much. Thank you, Juergen.
Thanks, Walter. So let me briefly recap our highlights in the area of AI. We are releasing the Generative AI Hub to provide developers with prompt management capabilities and instant access to large language models from different providers. And we continue working with several vendors so you can always use the best model for the respective task. In addition, we will offer fine-tuning support and train our own foundational model tailored to SAP use cases and the SAP universe. And as Walter said, we are proud about our partnership with Stanford. And now I'm extremely excited to welcome my fellow executive board member colleague, Julia White, on stage to talk to you about the amazing BTP ecosystem.
Thanks,
Julia.
Juergen. Now, no one company can unlock Gen AI potential alone, right? The greatest innovation will come from a vibrant ecosystem working together. Innovation from a combination of SAP and our ecosystem is how we will meet the ever-increasing customer expectations for what AI can deliver for them. And partners today support 90% of SAP-based implementations of solutions, right? And most of the developers creating and extending SAP solutions are working at a partner organization. And there's over 2,000 partner solutions in the SAP store today, and more than 400 of these offer AI already as part of those solutions. Now, Microsoft is one of SAP's longtime partners, and among the first business AI partnerships that we announced earlier this year. Together, SAP and Microsoft are bringing the power of business AI to our mutual customers and to developers. To this end, I'm thrilled to have Scott from Microsoft's Cloud and AI group share his perspective on the partnership. Scott?
Thank you so much, Julia. It's an honor to be with you virtually today at SAP TechEd and see the fantastic announcements around BTP and generative AI. And I'm equally excited to see Azure OpenAI as one of the first supported technologies at the forefront of SAP's AI strategy. It's a testament to our mutual trust and long-standing partnership. For over 30 years, Microsoft and SAP have been united by a common mission to help our customers accelerate their innovation and migrate their SAP environments to the cloud. From RISE with SAP to integrations with Microsoft 365 and Teams through BTP, and now Gen AI, our partnership is revolutionizing how users work across solutions. And just like our customers, we run a big part of our internal business here at Microsoft on SAP on top of Azure. For example, Microsoft uses SuccessFactors and IBP, and we're on a journey to move our critical federal S4 instance to RISE on Azure, coupled with SAP BTP on Azure to get the flexibility and agility we need to scale quickly. Similarly, we're pleased that SAP runs many of its own business applications on Azure as well. As we look ahead, I'm incredibly optimistic about our joint opportunity with AI. Microsoft and SAP are investing heavily in secure and responsible AI technologies that help our customers stay ahead of the curve. One example of this commitment, as you've seen earlier, is SAP integrating with Azure OpenAI. This will enable SAP developers and business users to focus on higher-level tasks and create more innovative solutions that drive business value. It's great to see SAP, Microsoft, and OpenAI working closely together on SAP Business AI use cases. SAP's partnership is incredibly important to us at Microsoft. It's one of the most important partnerships we have in the cloud. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks so much for the great partnership, Scott. Now, private large language models are key enablers to innovation for specific customer needs. And Deloitte is a global SAP partner who's leveraging the power of BTP and their own large language model to deliver results for our mutual customers. Now, to show us what this looks like, please welcome Chip from Deloitte to talk more about it. Welcome, Chip.
Julia.
Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Super excited to be here at SAP TechEd. And like you said, excited to be talking about everybody's favorite topic, AI. And you know, AI is nothing new. At Deloitte, we've been leveraging it for several years to bring client value. And that said, as the technology evolves, we ourselves are evolving in terms of how we bring those solutions and capabilities to bear.
Right. Now, Deloitte, you recently announced an expanded partnership with BTP, SAP BTP, to build even more AI solutions. So give us a sense of what that looks like for our customers.
Yeah, we're taking an outcome-centric approach. Starts with focusing first on our clients' issues, and then what are the solutions and capabilities to help solve them.
Okay.
And that we do so through an architecture that spans SAP S/4HANA, SAP BTP, particularly SAP AI Core and the LLM proxy, and SAP DataSphere. And allows us to embed LLMs into the end-to-end business processes. And we're complementing that with our own Deloitte proprietary data, such as Insights IQ, to be able to bring optimal results. We have over 100+ AI use cases and assets that we have created so we can bring specific business outcomes to our clients.
But that's the part I love, like this business outcomes, right? And that's the important part for our customers, real outcomes, not just the hype. We got to get past the hype. So give us a little more example of what those outcomes look like.
Yeah, let's start with finance. So for finance decision makers, you know, when they're looking at financial reports, if they have questions, oftentimes that requires significant manual effort, whether it's research, analysis, data crunching. And imagine a world where instead, you can be enabled immediately. We've created a finance AI agent that allows us to have insights right at the time of the question. And, by the way, the AI agent will soon be transitioning over to Joule, SAP's co-pilot, and integrate with other SAP systems. Time now can be spent making the right decisions versus spending time doing the research. And for our example, if you're looking over retail information, and you can be provided with insights on the effectiveness of promotions for particular categories or stores, allowing executives to be able to determine should they run more promotions or pull back.
That's such a good example of how Business AI really delivers, again, those customer outcomes that they're so hungry for. So thank you so much for joining and sharing what you're doing at Deloitte, and thank you for your partnership. It's incredibly valued.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me here. And we have a booth out on the show floor. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop by.
Will do.
Thank you.
Now, not only are SAP partners delivering new AI solutions like Deloitte are doing and creating real business value, but partner solutions are also enabling developers to create new AI-based apps on BTP. Now, earlier this year, we announced SAP DataSphere and a new partnership with DataRobot. Now, since then, of course, we've been continuing to innovate together, and now we're able to host DataRobot's AI models in SAP AI Core. To take this a step further, today, we're integrating DataRobot's capabilities around predictive and generative AI with SAP Build. Now, this allows you to easily infuse DataRobot's AI models into SAP Cloud ERP and our line of business solutions. DataRobot delivers their fully open AI platform that provides the tools you need to confidently build, deploy, manage, and govern predictive and generative AI solutions. Now, let's see how easy it is to use DataRobot to infuse AI into SAP Build automation pipelines. In this example, we're going to use the processing of supplier invoice transactions. So, of course, as all AI, it starts with data. So first, we connect DataRobot to SAP DataSphere as the source for the training data. Now here, we're connecting to the invoice transaction data, right? It has things like invoice, dates, categories, and amounts, right? But importantly, DataRobot's integration with SAP operates with that same level of trust that we hold for all SAP Business AI solutions. That means the customer data used to train the AI models here is never opened up to train general LLM models. Important. Now, with the data now available, we'll use Data Robot to create a predictive AI model that automatically detects invoice errors, such as like timing discrepancies or inaccurate transaction details. Now, anomaly detection like this, it was one of those models that helps process invoices faster and more effectively. Now, with the predictive model running, we'll now use Data Robot's customizable Gen AI capabilities, utilizing LMs, of course, to enable the reviewer to manage invoices more effectively. We'll do this by using Gen AI to understand the specific invoice structure, assess the specific anomaly, and then summarize the issue in natural language, so it's easy for the user to understand. Now, once these models are validated, SAP Build can integrate them in to supercharge the automation pipelines and the apps with AI. Now here we see the invoice processing pipeline calling the Data Robot-based predictive model and Gen AI capabilities to assess the incoming invoices. Now the users can then just simply upload invoices and have that pipeline intelligently identify invoices that need attention and also provide all the details that the reviewer needs to review those invoices. This is the true power of AI, right? To augment what the users can do and make them more productive. And by enabling the integration with SAP Build, we're bringing the power of AI to all developers. Now, all of you can begin using the Data Robot AI platform with your SAP Build solutions today to build your own AI-powered apps. And if you have solutions that work on BTP, you're empowered to partner with us and publish your solutions on the SAP Store for thousands of customers to utilize. I really encourage you to try this out today. Now, with the new reality that every developer needs to become an AI and cloud developer, we're continuing to really focus on training, right? Now, last year at TechEd, SAP announced the very ambitious goal to train 2 million professionals by 2025. And I'm thrilled to share that today we've already attained 1.5 million new learners taking advantage of SAP's learning offerings, well ahead of our goal, which is awesome. Today, we're announcing a new roles-based certification for ABAP Cloud backend developers that will help ensure experts like many of you here in the room today that have the latest skill set to build and deliver agile AI cloud solutions. Now, this is just one of hundreds of resources that span across SAP's entire portfolio that you can find and take advantage of today at learning.sap.com. So, whether you are a leading-edge AI developer or you're just starting your journey, SAP has got you covered with the tools, the platform, and the resources you need to succeed. With that, back to Juergen.
Thank you, Julia. Thanks a lot. So I hope you're just excited as I am about all the endless opportunities ahead of us. And after this firework of innovations, let me quickly recap the minimum you should take away from today's keynote. Highlight number 1, SAP Build Code as the latest addition to the SAP Build family. And SAP Build provides you with a simplified developer experience through a unified lobby. This makes the collaboration between citizen developers and professional developers very easy. Then number 2, HANA Cloud's Vector Engine. HANA Cloud's Vector Engine enables you to combine the power of large language models with company-specific real-time data and business process know-how, all integrated into one multimodal database, SAP HANA Cloud. And third, Generative AI Hub. The Generative AI Hub is simplifying and transforming the way you access AI. You saw it, it's user-friendly, it's efficient, and it's designed to help you achieve more with less hassle. You can find all the updates in our SAP TechEd news guide. Then many of the customers you saw on stage have voice of the customer sessions, and make sure to tune in for our developer keynote later and to the business application keynote tomorrow. You can find all of today's keynote resources summarized here in a keynote summary blog post. And with that, the only thing I have left to say is enjoy SAP TechEd 2023, learn as much as you can. Dhanyavada. Thank you very, very much. See you and take good care.
Ladies